Across Europe and the rest of the world, cooking with a pressure cooker is extremely popular. If you've ever had hesitations, this Fagor pressure cooker will change your mind. The reason why they're so popular is because they'll significantly reduce the amount of cooking time, and therefore the amount of energy used too. The way a pressure cooker works is when the lid is on, the temperature inside rises above 212 degrees, and the steam is trapped, so it's forced back down onto the surfaces of your food, locking in not only nutrients, but all that great flavor. Imagine cooking beans in 10 minutes, rice in 5 minutes, and even a whole chicken in 15 minutes. But you're not just limited to savory food or main courses. You can also do soups, stews, you can can fruits and vegetables. This pressure cooker has a 6-quart capacity, comes with a steamer basket insert, and has a lot of great safety features that I'll show you when we begin our beef stew recipe. I'm already through the first few steps of my favorite beef bourguignon recipe, where I've cooked the bacon, and I'm removing the bacon pieces from the pot, but leaving the grease behind. You want about 2 tablespoons. I've also cubed my beef, tossed it in flour, and will now add this into the pot. This is a recipe that would normally take a couple hours to make, but using my pressure cooker, we'll be able to reduce that time into, seriously, a matter of minutes. Pretty amazing. As you can also see, I'm using the pot of my pressure cooker as a regular stock pot, so it's essentially almost getting a pot and a pressure cooker all in one. This is a stainless steel pot with an aluminum base, so it heats up evenly and transfers that heat into the pot. That's essentially how you get the high enough temperatures to make the pressure cooker work. Right now I'm going to make sure all the sides of my beef are browned before I continue with the rest of my recipe. I've browned my beef on all sides, so now it's time to add the vegetables. Mushrooms, carrots, and onions. I'm going to give these a quick toss, and we'll add the final ingredients. I'm now going to add the final ingredients of my recipe: some dried thyme, some Dijon mustard, some beef broth, and some red wine. And if I were making my beef bourguignon the traditional way, I could let this cook on the stove for another couple of hours. But since I'm using the pressure cooker, this is where everything changes. Let me just give this a quick stir. Beautiful. Time for the lid to go on. I'm going to match this little notch on top with the arrow, slide the lid, and you hear that click. That's what makes this pressure cooker so safe to use. There are 2 settings, 1 and 2. I'm going to put it on number 2 for the higher pressure, and we're just going to let this cook away for 30 minutes. It's that easy and that fast. It's only been 30 minutes, and already my beef bourguignon is finished. Now, if I were going to serve this later, I would simply turn off the heat and move it to another burner, and the pressure indicator light would drop when it's time to take off the lid. But I want to serve this now, so I'm going to do the automatic release method and switch the dial to the steam setting. As soon as I do, you'll hear that release of pressure. It may take a few minutes for all the steam to release, but that's just another one of the built-in safety mechanisms. My indicator has dropped, meaning it's safe to take off the lid. Release, turn, and look at our beautiful beef bourguignon that was made in just 30 minutes. Before I dish it up, I am going to pour in the reserved bacon that I cooked earlier. The bacon will still be nice and crispy while the meat's so tender, a great combination. Using my pressure cooker really changes the way I attack recipes or cooking even. Meals that I once reserved just for the weekends only can now be done on any day of the week because the cooking time is so much shorter thanks to this pressure cooker. Tender carrots, juicy beef that just falls apart and melts in your mouth. All the same flavor that you would get with slow cooking, but just a fraction of the time, thanks to the Fagor pressure cooker.